I'm David Ainsworth, Head of Communications at the United Nations Secretariat for the Convention on Biological Diversity. We're here at the Geneva Meetings and we're talking about cities and biodiversity. Today we're talking with Ingrid Coetzee of ICLEI. Ingrid, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you, David. It's great to be here.
Very good. Before we start, can you tell our viewers what does ICLEI stand for?
ICLEI basically stands for Cities that Support Sustainable Development, and we're an organization that represents more than 2,500 cities and subnational governments globally.
So, can you start by telling our viewers why are these global biodiversity goals important for cities?
Well, I think it's because cities are in the front line of the challenges that we face as far as biodiversity is concerned. Cities are the ones that make decisions about where infrastructure is going to go, how development is going to happen, and they are in a position to conserve biodiversity and to protect the ecosystem services that provide us with services such as wetlands that can attenuate floods, and marshes that will also help with flood protection or those sorts of things. So they're very, very important, and they do already make a huge impact in terms of helping nations protect biodiversity and restore ecosystem services.
So in a few days, you're going to be opening something called Cities for Nature Commitments. Can you tell us about the commitments you're going to be getting for the Cities for Nature program?
Yes, we're very excited about this. The Cities with Nature platform is something that started, it was launched in 2018, just after the previous COP. And we basically created an online space where cities can show the world what they're doing for nature and how they're doing it, so that they could reconnect urban communities with nature and protect the nature in cities. And we decided at that COP, when we heard about the new Global Biodiversity Framework coming, to develop a platform where cities can make their voluntary contributions to meeting the global biodiversity targets and, of course, also the national targets. So this action platform is linked to the 2030 targets. We follow the same structure. And we've already had some cities made some commitments. And from now, basically from the 26th, when we open it for global city contributions to make commitments, right up to COP, we have a program of social media, of leveraging, of mobilizing cities across the world, big cities, small cities, to make their commitments known and to report them on this action platform. And then once the decade of the new Global Biodiversity Framework really kicks off after COP, we also have a mechanism to keep track and to monitor the progress that cities are making so that they can report on these, the progress that they're making, and that can be taken up into the country reports to the CBD at the regular intervals that they have to do.
So Ingrid, could you tell us a little bit about maybe, I know you've got commitments coming in, but some of the existing ones, what are the sort of things that cities are committing on this platform?
You know, David, it's very diverse. The obvious thing is, for example, where cities are able to protect parts of the city as a protected area, but right into things like, you know, contributions in terms of how they can reduce pollution, whether it's water pollution or air pollution, to support biodiversity. Invasive alien species is another important one. And then, of course, you know, the whole idea of awareness raising and building the capacity of local citizens and the business, working together with businesses, local communities, the NGO sector, really sort of contributing to this whole concept of whole of society and whole of government approach, which is so fundamental to the new Global Biodiversity Framework.
So you're here at the talks right now. What are you feeling in terms of the discussions relating to cities? How would you characterize the way governments, national governments, are engaging with your agenda?
We think it's very encouraging. We have, there is an item under the SBI agenda around engagement with cities and subnational governments, and we're hoping that it's going to be adopted. And basically what this is it's a renewal of the decision taken in Nagoya in 2010, Decision 1022, to provide a space, a platform for engagement of subnational cities and other levels of subnational government. And we're very positive about this. We're seeing more and more parties are realizing and recognizing that implementation needs to happen also at the local level, and that collectively, if we all take action collectively, we can make an impact and we can bring about the transformative change that we need to ensure that the biodiversity loss it's halted and that we can restore our ecosystems and make a difference, and this time really achieve our targets by the time we get to 2030.
Thank you very much. Indeed, the one thing about this plan is it's about engaging all stakeholders at all levels. Well, Ingrid, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you very much for the work that ICLEI is doing, and we're looking forward to the launch of the Cities with Nature platform.
Yes, thank you, David, and we are too.
Great. Thank you for joining us. There'll be more Biodiversity Beat interviews coming in the days to come. I'm David Ainsworth.